Hello everybody, Chris with Night of the Living Card Games back again, continuing my Earthborne Rangers campaign. Just got back a couple days ago from Con of the North, where I got to play the Incandescent Sky epic multiplayer event, which was a lot of fun. I posted my thoughts and review on it just the other day. So if you're interested, you can go over there and check it out. Because I camped on my way to the Carbon Forged Maze here. I did tweak my deck, and I included the reward cards from Incandescent Sky. So I've got that in there. I would like to point out that as one thankful person pointed out in my last game, I completely cheated. So when I was doing the Spores mission, I was doing the test on the Spores to move them to beings. However, the test was on the mission card, which due to the limitations of trying to film the two playmats, I put over here. The missions are supposed to go over here. So when I was interacting with them, everything within reach and along the way should have fatigued me while I was doing those tests. But over here, I failed to notice that. So I apologize, but I ain't going to go back and fix it at this point. I'm not going to replay the day and just go forward. If for the people that watch these gameplays, I make a ton of mistakes. I try not to. I do my best, but it does get away from me every once in a while. So, all right. So our main goal here is to get down to the cage. I think we're starting to run out of time. Everything keeps moving and shaking about, and we're going to start to get to more and more text entries here faster and faster, so I got to get a move on. So I'm at the Carbon Forge Maze. Even with that, however, I think I'm going to try to go down to the Arboretum of Memory. Or do I just go down? Now, you know what? Maybe I'm just going to go down to Talpid's Squeeze, and, I can come back to the Arboretum of Memory later, assuming I survive this. So we'll see, though. I do have my repellent spores out, so just in case I do get down there, I do need those to get over to the cage, my final destination. So let us draw our opening hand here. Cordo's Instinct, Ranger Badge, Vaulting Rod, Following Footsteps, Deliberate, and a Door Opener. Well, I definitely want the Ranger's Badge, and I will get the Vaulting Rod out. I will discard everything else, however. Get a sketchbook, Pakodo, Cassendi, and a Bold. Hopefully, I get to that, to the reward card. I put both copies in. Talk about it once, whenever I do manage to pull it out. But in the meantime, let's read up about the Carbon Forged Maze. As you move through the arteries, you come across gusts of warm, moist air rising up from shafts you spot beneath them. While you eventually find a stairway running down one, you begin to check it out. The further you go into the shafts, the warmer and wetter the air grows. However, when you touch the walls, they feel dry. Soon the stairwell opens into a labyrinth network of dark, cramped passages, run through with pipes, wires, conduits, and ducts. You can't be sure, but they all seem to be meandering downward, leading to some deep heart of the arcology. Right. On arrival, the lead ranger draws a path card. What do we draw? Oh, the Veiled Axolotl. Well, thanks. So we get ambushed. For 2. Now, flipping it over at the Carbon Forge Maze here, it is a 1 presence, 5 per ranger progress threshold, and it says response. When you traverse this location, reduce the amount of progress added by 1 unless your ranger token is on this location. And then awareness plus, I think that's conflict 2, to squeeze through the narrow passage, or the narrow tunnels to move your token to it. Oh. And it is still enveloping silence as the day. So All right, how do I want to do this? Well, first things first, we're going to spend 2 to get my ranger badge out. Oh, hang on a second. Shoot, I didn't get the stout-hearted guardian, so I can't do my little tricks to do that. I still kind of want the ranger badge out, though. That's going to be useful. Do I get Sill's sketchbook out? You know what? We're going to try it. We're going to spend 1 to get Sill's sketchbook out. 2 sketches. We're going to exhaust and spend 2 sketches on it to just exhaust that. We are now going to spend 1 awareness and the Cassendi technique to try to do this test. So I'm a 3 versus a 2. 0, so I succeed. So I get to move my ranger token on there. Red crest, nothing on the missions. He is exhausted. Okay, we are now going to spend 2 fitness and this bold to try to traverse here. So 4 versus 1. -1, I succeed with 3. No red crest challenge effects. So that goes away. And I think we are going to... Well, hang on. This isn't, just making sure. Nope, that is not a floor. I got to remember that I can use this thing to interact with the things. All right, so I am done there. So we are going to, because I can't, actually, I'm going to try to remember my ranger training. 1 versus 1. +1, I succeed, so I get to look at 2. I am going to put them both on the bottom of my deck, because I'm really hoping to find the stout-hearted guardian and a dear friend. So not that. All right, yellow sun, however, I need to either discard an energy or things happen, so I will discard this last spirit. And we shuffle this up. All right, let us ready everything up. Draw a new card. It is quiet. Now a new path card. We get another veil. Oh boy. Okay. This is problematic. All right then. So I guess I'm going to spend 2 to get Kodo out. I'm going to try to avoid one of these guys. So 2 versus 2, straight up. -1, I fail. Blue Mountain, nothing Blue Mountain. I hate to do it, but we're going to try it. I'm going to commit my vaulting rod, which I don't like having to do. And we're gonna try to traverse, which means I get 1, 2, 3, and 4. -1, so I succeed with a progress of 2. All right, that's enough. Yellow sun, so I either have to spend an energy or enveloping silence. Do that. I will spend a focus. Yellow here. If there's a water feature in another area, move this being to that. There is no water feature, so nothing happens there. We are going to end our turn. I guess I will exhaust, spend my last energy to put a token on my badge, and I'm going to end my turn, which allows me to travel. And given the fact that my deck has been decimated already by these axolot attacks, I am going to skip the Arboretum of Memory right now and go down to Talpid Squeeze via the Fungal Forest. So let me get that set up, and I will be right back. All right, we have arrived at Talpid Squeeze. For the past few hours, you've been following passages deeper than anything you've yet found. You've been tracing power conduits, data linkages, and clusters of clear pipes full of thick, gurgling liquids in varying hues of green, blue, and deep arterial crimson. But your explorations come to a halt when the shaft you're climbing ends in a clump of splintered rocks and twisted composite wall paneling. The damage seems recent. You suspect that an earthquake must have caused this. You'll need to find a way to clear the rubble in order to proceed. There is a passageway here leading deeper into the arcology, but it has become completely overgrown with massive vines. If you could somehow clear a path, you think that you could proceed deeper into the arcology. Search the general set for an overgrown passage and put it into play. And real quick, overgrown passage, again, 0 presence feature. You takes 4 progress. You can't add progress unless you've got the repellent spores. And once you clear it, you can move from here. All right, and so lead ranger, draw a path card. It is some saber beetles. X presence, 2 beetles. X hit points and 8 connect threshold. When this swarm is exhausted by the prey's Blue Mountain effect, add 1 beetle to it. You can add a maximum of 1 harm per test to this swarm, and X is equal to the number of beetles on it. All right. So now let's flip this over. Let's look at Talpid's Squeeze. It is a location and a ruin. 2 presence, 3 per ranger progress threshold, and comes in with 2 per ranger debris on it. It says if there are 1 or more debris on this location, you cannot travel. And then as a test, focus plus conflict 2 to disassemble the pile and collapse rubble to discard 1 debris from this location for every 2 effort. And Blue Mountain challenge effect, if there's at least 1 debris on this location, the debris shifts. Discard all progress from an active feature. If at least 2 progress was discarded, discard 1 debris. Okay. So that was the setup. Now we're going to ready everything up. Get our energy back. Draw a card. The Cassendi technique. And now, top of the round, we draw a new card. It is Cal Ivor. What are you doing here, Cal? All right, Cal Ivor. I don't know. Let me just see here real quick. I don't think I have... Making sure. Nope, I did not stand up to Cal or best Cal. So you stop for a moment and sit down to rest your tired legs. As the ache fades from your muscles, you hear footsteps from one of the passageways up ahead. In a moment, you see a bobbing light, then a familiar figure in a blue ranger's cloak arounds the corner. Good day, or at least what passes for day in this sunless place, Cal Ivor says. How are you faring? You let him know what you've been up to, and he nods, then relays his own exploration. All in all, I think I've explored at least 10 kilometers of passages today, he finishes. A pause, then he continues, his voice turning a bit more lighthearted. How many kilometers have you gone? When you tell him, you see a faint smile creep into his expression. Well, I was going to see if you could keep up with me on this next leg of my exploration, Cal says, but perhaps you're feeling a bit too worn out. Clear Cal with progress to challenge him to a race. All right. All right. Well, I guess I'm going to spend 2 progress or 2 fitness energy to get Quiet out. I am then going to have Quiet go chase off the saber beetles. Get them out of the way. I'm going to try to look at my ranger deck. No. Yellow Sun, I have to discard an energy. I will discard that. Let's see here. Add 3 progress to the feature with the most progress. If this clears it, Cal gains an edge over you. Add 1 edge to this being. Nope. I can't. That's the only feature there, and I can't do it. He can't do it. I can do it because I've got the spores, but we are going to try to connect with Cal. 3 versus 2. No, you know what? We're going to connect with Picoto. 3 versus 1. +1. I guess I could have done it anyway, but that's okay. Red Crest, nothing on the missions, nothing here. Here, if there's an active predator, there is not. Nothing else for me to do here. So, I guess I'll spend an energy to just put another charge on the Ranger badge, because what else do I got to do? And then we will end our... Oh, before I end a turn, I'm going to use a charge off of Picoto to put 2 progress on Cal. And then we will rest. Ready everything up. Get my energy back. Draw a card. Into a second copy of Picoto. Now we draw a path card. It is the Slumbering Foreman. Ooh, that's a new one. He is a 1 presence, 4 harm, 3 progress threshold because it is a feature and a machine, not a being. Comes in with 0 power. And it says, but if it gets up to 3 power, this machine loses feature and gains being, friendly, and illumination. And I can do focus plus triangle 2 to repair the automation, or automaton, to add 1 power to this machine for every 2 effort. So it comes in with an entry. The massive shape looming out of the darkness sends you scrambling backwards, only to realize that it's one of the many limbed maintenance machines you've seen scattered around the arcology. The machine resembles flamboyant beetles covered with frilled antennae. This one catches your eye, however, because long ago someone inlaid cobalt flower designs around the main photoreceptors. You examine the ancient machine. It appears to be in some sort of sleep hibernation. Perhaps if it were powered, it would wake up from its slumber. Add power tokens to the Slumbering Foreman, then clear it with progress to reactivate it. All right. Well, it is a 1. It is a 1 presence, so... All right, first things first. We're going to have Picoto, exhaust, put progress on Cal, and I am not going to take Cal up on his race challenge. I will discard him, and I get to soothe 1 fatigue from that. It is compassionate. Really was hoping to find my stout-hearted guardian. Really need that. So let's try to look at my deck. -1, I fail. Have to spend an energy because of that. Nothing else from Yellow Sun. All right, well, I am just going to have to suck it up. I'm going to try to traverse this feature. I'm going to use repellent spores. And 2, so that commits 2 effort with a flora, and this is flora traded, so that is fine. And then I get fatigued by the slumbering foreman. So this is a 4 versus a 0. 0, I succeed. So now that I've cleared it, okay. Let's see here. Overgrown passage. Okay. You open the pouch of spores and with a gentle puff of breath, blow them towards the vine. The reaction is almost instantaneous. The vines shiver and recoil from the spores, revealing a previously unseen passageway. You can now travel from this location, blocked by the icon, and discard all progress from Overgrown Passage and attach it face down to this location as a reminder. Okay, Red Crest, what do we got here? Powered 3. It has no power on it, so that doesn't trigger. I don't know what to do at this point. I now need to traverse, but I don't have any fitness energy to do it. Oh, I gotta put debris on there, too. Okay, well, I guess I'm going to try to sketch the slumbering foreman. 1 versus 1. -1, I fail to sketch it. I have to discard an energy. It's that. I'm going to spend 1 to play a dear friend. So I get to search the path deck and discard for a human and put them into play with this card attached. And then when that human is cleared, I can move all progress from him to any number of other beings. Oh, well, no, that's not a being, so that won't do me any good. So I guess we're not going to do that. All right, I'm going to choose to rest. So can't travel, so we're going to ready everything up. I got my other ranger badge, which doesn't do me a lot of good right now, but maybe in the future. All right, path card. What do we get here? Ooh, a sudden darkness. The chamber shudders, and you feel subsonic pulse move through your body. All at once, the light sources in the environment dim to almost nothing, and the area is shrouded in darkness. Place this card in the surroundings. While this card is in play, areas cannot be illuminated, and at the end of the round, discard this moment, and I can do a test to discard it, but I don't actually care if it's dark. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to try to sketch the slumbering foreman. Yeah, we'll just go 2 versus 1. 0, I succeed. So I sketch, and I get sketches equal to its presence, which is 1. Blue Mountain, here. If there's at least 1 debris on this location, the debris shifts. Discard all progress from an active feature. If at least 2 progress was discarded, discard 1 debris. Well, unfortunately, nothing. And then this is if it's powered 3, something happens. So nothing there. All right, I'm going to exhaust and use this sketch that I did to exhaust that feature. I am now going to spend 1 focus and 3 conflict icons to do this test. So 4 versus 2. -1. So I succeed with 3. So unfortunately, that only gets rid of 1 of the 2 debris on it. And let me just check here real quick. It does say that you can't travel, but I can still put progress on it. All right, Blue Mountain, there's no progress on a feature, so I don't get to remove that last debris. All right, we are going to try to traverse here. Using my other range badge and 2 fitness, so 4 versus 2. +1, I succeed with a total effort of 5. Yellow Sun, I have to discard a progress. And yeah, oh, but if I get a Yellow Sun, let's just, I'm just going to end my turn. I was going to maybe connect with Pakoto, but I don't really need it at this point, so we are going to just rest. We can't travel, even though we have enough progress on the location. So we will ready everything up. Drawing a card. It is Follow in Footsteps. And draw a new path card. It is Spore Mushrooms. So Dangerous and Mycelial traded. As a feature, a flora, and a fungus. Okay. I am going to do Sill's sketchbook to sketch the spore mushroom. 2 versus 1. 0, I succeed. I get 1 sketch back. Blue Mountain, I don't have anything on there. It is not powered 3. If there is an active prey, there is not. I'm going to choose to exhaust and spend my 1 sketch to exhaust the spore mushrooms. We are now going to do this focus test. My 1 focus and 2 conflict icons, but because I am going past this, trying to sneak past the slumbering foreman, it does fatigue me 1. So I am a 3 versus a 2. 0, I succeed with 3 progress. That is enough to remove the last debris. Nothing here, nothing here, nothing in the missions. Here is powered 3. There is no power though, so nothing happens. All right. I guess, how much do I have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 left. So we are going to choose to rest. Actually, before I do, let us just do this. We're going to connect with Pakoto. 3 versus 1. 0, I succeed with 5. This takes me up to 5 progress. Yellow Sun, I discard a fitness, and nothing else triggers. But I do have to reshuffle this. So now that that is done, we are going to rest and we are going to choose to travel. We are going to travel down the ancient ruins to the cage. All right. Clearly I won't be able to finish everything today. I don't have enough cards in my deck that I will be able to do that, but I can at least get there, see what's at the cage, and be prepared. At the end of the round, that gets discarded, so we'll just discard that now. So I will go set up with the cage, and I will be right back. All right. Got herself set up in the cage, and because we arrived at the cave, or at the cage, we read the Long Dark mission passage. So, while exploring the arcology's depths, you've discovered many monuments to the Estian's greatness, but nothing could have prepared you for this. When Solaro shared with you his theory of an engine, it evoked images of a hulking machine with a searing, energetic glow at its center, or perhaps a device similar to the water spinner that powers Tumbledown. But no, at the center of the space, guarded by a gigantic ribcage of gleaming metal and composite struts, you can see a massive, beating heart. A heart, to all appearances, of flesh and blood. Complete the Long Dark mission. Completed. The heartbeat is arrhythmic and erratic. As it stutters, you watch the attendant machines in the chamber judder in response, and occasionally you hear a groaning and rumbling in the distance. The heart's arrhythmia seems to be destabilizing the arcology systems, and possibly the entire structure. There can be no doubt, this is the source of the earthquakes. If you don't do something about the heart, you worry that the entire arcology could collapse upon itself, and as Solaro suggested, swallow up the entire valley in the process. The Rangers must choose to either A, destroy the heart immediately, or B, search for another solution. Well, I think, given the nature of Rangers and my character being the connection, I think we're going to look for another solution than destroy it. Surely there must be a better way to address this problem than simply destroying this wondrous being. At the very least, you'll need to learn more about how the heart operates and why the Estians created it. Maybe some records still exist after all this time. Given the proximity to the cage, perhaps you can find more information in the other locations on this level of the arcology. Gain to the heart of it mission. So, to the heart of it, search the arcology for information on how to relieve what is ailing the heart. Gather as much information as you can. Return to the cage when you feel you have sufficient information to confront and treat the arcology's heart. Okay, well, that is not spectacular, but that's interesting. All right, so now let's do the arrivals setup. A massive chamber of curving machinery rumbles and hums as you step into the cage. A steady thumping echoes through the chamber and vibrates in your chest. Oh, actually, I was supposed to read this first. At the far end of the chamber, the heart beats powerfully enough to rattle your diaphragm even from hundreds of meters away. As you watch, it judders, and you hear the almost subsonic booming rhythm pause for a long moment. Then, with a rattle, it begins again, and you feel the whole arcology shake in response. To fix the heart's arrhythmia, you'll need to be as prepared as possible, for deep down, you know that you will only get one chance. We have to choose, A, continue working on a solution, or B, finish this, you are ready to confront the heart, or C, rest and start fresh tomorrow. Okay, well, I think we're going to continue working on a solution. You shake your head. There has to be a solution to this problem. The Estians grew the heart. They had to have created means to heal or repair it should something go wrong. You think if you find where the Estians developed the heart, you may also find answers. Alternatively, if you can gain access to the records, that may help you as well. So we got to look around here. So we've got the Arboretum of Memory here. That seems like some place that there might be records. Or the Verdant Sphere over there. Since those are the two pivotal locations down here, I'm going to go out on a limb and assume those are the two places. So my assumption is Arboretum of Memory is where the research is, and the Verdant Spear must be where they made it. So I think we're going to go back for the Arboretum of Memory. So I think what I'm going to do here is I am going to try to get out of here in the few cards that I have left and get enough progress on the location to travel out and at least start heading towards the Arboretum. But what does this say? Search the general set for the heart and put it into play. Expanded side face up, then draw a path card. So here we go. The heart expanded. It is a feature, a biomeld, and an organ. It has a 2 presence. It has 3 per ranger harm threshold and no connect threshold. And it says this feature cannot leave play except when you travel or it is discarded by the campaign guide. Response: after this feature flips, exhaust it. Then resolve and discard each attached challenge card. Then ready this feature. If you clear it with harm, read a passage. Yellow Sun challenge effect: draw and attach 1 challenge card to this organ. If there are 3 or more, it contracts. After all sun effects have been resolved, flip this card. Okay. And so we put that into play, and now we draw a path card. It is an obstacle, overgrown vestiges. Well, I don't know if I'm going to be getting out of here now. So 1 presence, 2 harm, 6 progress threshold obstacle. If it's illuminated, it loses obstacle. But I don't have a way to gain illumination. So real quick, let's look at the cage. That is a nice piece of artwork there. 2 presence, 2 per ranger progress threshold, and it has a test awareness plus exploration 2 to explore the chamber to scout path cards equal to your effort, then draw a path card. All right, that is the travel phase. So now we're on the refresh. So we ready the cards, get our energy back, draw a card. There's the Stout-Hearted Guardian. Well, that's going to be useful at this point. Right, top of the round, we draw a new card. We get a Vagus Capacitor. Let's look at this guy. So 143 passage. The sparking electrical nodes run down the height of the cavern with regular crackling arcs of electricity snapping across the lower nodes to play across the heart. These arcs help keep the heart beating regularly and allow it to send energy back to the arcology systems. 1 presence, 3 per ranger harm threshold, 6 per ranger progress threshold. It is a feature, a machine, and an organ. It comes in with 3 per ranger power. It has a test, fitness plus triangle to climb up to the capacitor's connection to move your ranger token to this feature and add power to it equal to its effort. It has 2 challenge effects. Blue Mountain. If your ranger token is on this feature, you reroute the connections to move 1 power from 1 machine to another. But a Red Crest challenge effect: if your ranger token is on this feature, it shocks you. Suffer 1 injury unless you discard a ranger power from 1 per ranger power from this feature. Okay. That is not a machine, so... Alright, well, let's try to get some cards back. I'm going to spend 2 spirit to get the Stout-Hearted Guardian out. I'm going to exhaust and spend my last spirit energy to put a token on Ranger Badge to draw a card. Hey! It is one of the special event reward cards. So let's take a look at this guy. And this is the one that I was actually signed by Andrew, the Andrews and MJ. So an Emberling, it's a 2 fitness, being, companion, and biomeld with a presence of 2. It is friendly, persistent, and has illumination. It has a test on it, Spirit plus Conflict 2, to release the fiery Emberling to attach this being to a non-water feature. And then on refresh, add 2 harm to the attached feature if it clears detach this being. Hey, this is a feature that is not a water. So, perfect. Right, we are going to spend 2 fitness to get my buddy, this cute little Emberling, and really the artwork is just adorable on this thing. We are now going to exhaust our Ranger badge to ready ourselves up. And then we will exhaust. We'll spend an awareness to put that energy back on. And draw and recover a fatigue. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get out of here, but we are going to try our best. So we are just going to end our day, because I don't want to draw more cards out of here. And I don't have energy to go send the Emberling off or try to do any traverses or anything. So, all right, so we are going to rest. Can't travel, so now we're on refresh. Draw a card. It is the other Emberling. Now, the amusing thing is, I don't think this Emberling... Let me take a look here real quick. I don't know if this Emberling is a unique creature. So in theory, yeah, no, it does not have the unique title, so I could have both of them out at the same time. All right, but that's for later. So we got to draw a path card. It is a capacitive leech. Comes in with 1 power. All right, we're going to exhaust ourselves. Spend an awareness. Actually, no, we're going to spend a focus. Put a charge on the Ranger badge. Recover a fatigue. Quiet, nice. We are going to just have quiet drive off the capacitive leech, which does take not quiet out at the moment. We're going to spend an energy off and exhaust Ranger badge to ready ourselves. And let's try this Spirit plus Conflict, and I'm not going to do anything. So just 3 versus 2. I succeed. So I get to attach this being to a non-water feature. I'm going to attach it to the Overgrown Vestiges. So it is no longer an obstacle because that is illuminated. But let's see here. Blue Mountain. Nothing, nothing, nothing. If this feature is illuminated, it is, so I get to add 1 progress to it. And here, if my Ranger token is on there, which it is not, we are going to try to sketch that. So we are a 2 versus a 1. 0, I succeed, so I get 1 sketch on my book. Blue Mountain, well, we get another progress on there, and nothing there. Then I think we'll spend... No. I was going to get quiet out, but I'm going to exhaust, spend an energy to put token on my Ranger badge and heal a fatigue, or recover a fatigue. That is a Lambent's rig, so... And now we will... I don't have enough to do anything, so we will rest And I can't travel. On refresh, this does 2 damage to the attached feature, which is enough to clear it out. And that just stays there. Now we ready up, get our energy back, draw a card into the expedition logbook, and now we get a new path card, which is Humming Circuits. Comes in with 2 power, so it is illuminated also. All right, we are going to exhaust ourselves, spend a focus energy to put something there. Recover fatigue. It is a deliberate. We'll exhaust this to ready ourselves up. We are going to do this Emberling test, 3 versus 2. I succeed, so I'm going to attach it to this feature. Blue Mountain, nothing on the missions. Here, my Ranger token is not on there. I'm going to spend 2 fitness to get a second Emberling out. Since it is not unique, I can do that. I will exhaust myself, spend an awareness, put a charge there, and recover fatigue. Gauze Blade. What do we got here, too? Let us, just for the heck of it, let's spend our last awareness. Let's get a Lambent's Rig out there, just in case I need to illuminate something. Actually, no. You know what? We're not going to do that. We are going to spend our last awareness. We are going to try to sketch the Vegas capacitors. 1 to 1. 0, I succeed, so I get to put another sketch on my book. Red crest. My token is not on there, so. All right, that is my turn. We are going to be done. So we're resting. We can't travel. So on refresh, this guy puts 2 harm there. And now we ready everything up. Put our energy back. Draw a card. Another Gauze Blade. How many cards do we have left? We have 3 cards left. New path card is a Bustling Lightbringer. Comes in with 3 power on him. All right. We are... Amusing thing, if I did want to get rid of it, I could sick both my Emberlings on the heart and just burn it out at a single turn. But we're not going to do that. We're going to try to find our way out here. Okay, so how many do I have? I have 3 cards, which means I got to be able to clear these guys out before I can travel. Alternatively, yeah, so what we'll do, because that is a being, we are going to exhaust Pakoto. Actually, what am I doing? I had 5 on you, so down to 4 to put 2 progress on a being. There's the 2 progress. We are going to exhaust ourselves and spend a focus, put a charge here, get another copy of Stout-Hearted Guardian. All right. We are now going to connect with the bustling Lightbringer. We are going to spend three. Three, and we will commit a Lambent's Rig to be a 4 versus a 1. +1, I succeed. That's going to be enough to convince it to move on down the road. Yellow Sun, I have to spend an energy. We'll spend an awareness. Nothing on the missions here first. Draw and attach one challenge card to this organ. If there are 3 or more, it contracts. So, right, so that is underneath it. Okay, nothing. Powered 1. Add 1 power. So it's got 1 or more power. Add 1 power to the machine with the least power. So we will do that. We are now going to exhaust the sketchbook. Spend 1 sketch to exhaust this capacitor. And now we are going to choose to travel. So what do I need? I need 2 progress out here, so I need to go in with 4 bold, 2 there, and that gives me 1, 2 fatigue for this one. This is a 0 fatigue, so it doesn't do anything to me. So we will do a 2 versus a 4. Oh, gotta shuffle that up first. -2. Ouch. Succeed, but only 2 progress, but that is just enough. Yellow Sun, need to spend an energy. Make sure. Yes, discard 1 energy to stay quiet. Here, we tuck another challenge card underneath it. Here, we add power. We'll just add it to ourselves. Nothing else for me to do. So I am going to choose to rest, and I will travel. And I will travel back to Talpid's Squeeze, so then I can go up to the Arboretum of Memory and hopefully find something out here. Okay, well, there you have it, folks. That was day, what am I up to? 17 of my Legacy of the Ancestors campaign. We're getting near the end because, let's see here, from this thing, we are almost up to, let me just double check here. Yeah, we are almost up to day 18 will be 11 days since this thing started, and then it's got 12 and 13, and then it ends. So I'm guessing I have 3 more days. Either I succeed or I fail. So I think we're rapidly coming to the end of this campaign, and we will go to it. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you did enjoy seeing the reward card from the Incandescent Sky event. I don't think, yeah, that probably won't be in focus, but I did put it on my review. I didn't put the text box in there, but you can see the artwork on there if you want to see it up closer. It's a cute little card, and you've just got a friendly living fireball that follows you around and will go check out features for you and slowly burn them up. So I figured it would be very useful for going through fungal forests and things, and I think it's going to be. And worst case scenario, well, Barbecue Heart is a potential for an outcome on this mission. So, all right. I'm going to wrap it up here. As always, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Hopefully, I didn't make too many mistakes this time. I know I usually do make a handful every game, so hopefully it wasn't too egregious this time. But as always, thank you for watching and pointing out my mistakes and keeping me honest on things. But otherwise, I will be back again soon for the last 2 or 3 days of Legacy of the Ancestors. And then probably shift into maybe some Marvel Champions. And then eventually the chapter 2 of Arkham Horror will come out. And I think I'll be playing some games on that to try out the new core set and the new campaign with that. So thank you so much. I do appreciate it. And I hope everybody has a great night. Later.